The Kansas City Chiefs have a massive problem at offensive line, and they need to solve it right now. Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy. I'm a local Kansas City-based content creator covering this Chiefs team on a daily basis. And the best thing you guys can do to show support is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing for more daily Chiefs coverage. Today's video, we are going to address the Chiefs' offensive line. This is a very popular topic after they have struggled over the past 2 weeks, and they have a solution in mind, but it might not solve all of the Chiefs' issues. So like I said, the Chiefs' offensive line has struggled over the past 2 weeks. They played the Carolina Panthers in Carolina against one of the worst defensive lines in football, and they gave up 5 sacks, which was a massive surprise because the Carolina Panthers defensive line had only had 12 sacks on the season going into that game, and they nearly had half of their season totals by the end of that football game. Patrick Mahomes got sacked 5 times against one of the worst defensive lines in football. So I kind of had a, thought that maybe this Raiders game could get ugly. And oh, my friends, did it get ugly. Max Crosby just abused this offensive line. He was able to get to Mahomes and just make his life a living hell. But the Raiders defensive line in general just made Mahomes, run for his life. And he was not able to find that time to sit back in the pocket and find his receivers downfield. He got sacked 5 times against the Raiders. So he's been sacked 10 times in the last 2 weeks against some of the worst teams in football. Those teams right now, the Raiders 2-9, and I believe the Panthers are also 2-9. Maybe they're 3-8. I believe they're 2-9. These are not good football teams. And the fact that you made them look good, the fact that you let all right defensive lines just tear up your offensive line, that is an issue. You saw in this Raiders game, Wanya Morris cannot be trusted. You saw in the middle of it, Patrick Mahomes got sacked. I believe they were in the red zone, and after he got sacked, he got up and he was livid. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was screaming, and right after that, you saw Wanya Morris get pulled from the game, and they moved over Joe Thuney from left guard to left tackle, and they put in Mike Caliendo as the left guard. It got that bad. So I really think that if this game taught you anything, it's that Wanya Morris is not a reliable option this season. You found that out very early with Kingsley Suamataia. He's just not ready to play football yet. And I don't think that Wanya Morris has earned the trust of Patrick Mahomes or this coaching staff that he could win that job going forward. But that's okay. There's a reason why you signed DJ Humphries, and that is to be your starting left tackle. And I think if we learned anything from this win against the Raiders, it's that DJ Humphries will more than likely start against the Chargers on December 8th. I'm not a betting man, but if I was to put all my money down, I would say that DJ Humphries is the starting left tackle for this Chiefs team on Sunday Night Football against the Chargers. I think that is a guaranteed bet at this point because DJ Humphries gives you that veteran experience, that veteran know-how. He's better in pass protection than Wanya Morris, and he's actually better in the running game. So I think this is a no-brainer, and I do think that DJ Humphries, after getting a full week in practice, will be the starter. But getting back to this Raiders game, I think it was so problematic because you saw the Chiefs went 1 of 5 in the red zone, and it seemed like the sacks were the drive killers. Every time that Patrick Mahomes got sacked, or pressured for that matter, the offense wasn't the same. And you saw him sit back in the pocket and really make some throws, whether or not his receivers caught the ball. That was completely up to him, or completely up to them. DeAndre Hopkins dropped the ball. You saw Travis Kelce and Noah Gray drop a ball. The receivers did not help Patrick Mahomes out at all today, or I guess it was yesterday, but it just was a tough showing from the Chiefs wide receiver room and even the tight ends because he was staying in the pocket and finding ways to make passes that his receivers just didn't catch. And you can't really blame the offensive line for that, but they did let the defensive line get to Mahomes very quickly. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm picking on Wanya Morris in this video. Jawaan Taylor has been just as bad. Now, I think they've been bad in different ways. I think, Wanya Morris is just not as skilled, and so he gets beat by guys that are faster and stronger than him, and he just isn't a consistent option at the position. We've seen him look okay, but the bad just outweighs the good. Jawaan Taylor either gets called for being, misaligned. He's either not lined up correctly. He's either getting false start penalties. You just can't win. It seems like, the NFL is picking on Jawaan Taylor. I don't know if it's, deserving of it or he's not deserving of it. I think he just gets a quick jump sometimes. But being not lined up correctly, that's on you. That is completely on you. And it hurts to see this Chiefs team get hit with penalties on every single drive, because you can at least guarantee Jawaan Taylor gets 2 or 3 false starts a game. It's going to happen. The NFL has noticed it. They're going to keep pointing it out. He's going to have to fix that. I know he just keeps lining up there in hopes that they don't notice. They're noticing, Jawaan. They are noticing you doing this, and it's hurting this Chiefs team. So the issue is, the Chiefs have a left tackle that they can't play and a right tackle that commits more penalties than he does good. And so you're in a really difficult position where you have to find a better solution at left tackle, but you also need your right tackle that you're paying a bunch of money to not continue to mess up. Again, 10 sacks in 2 weeks is ridiculous. Patrick Mahomes should be furious. And you saw on that play, after he got sacked and the Chiefs did not end up scoring a touchdown, he was livid. And there's a reason why Wanya Morris got benched directly after. You cannot win with him in the game at left tackle. And Joe Thuney was an upgrade, but you cannot have Joe Thuney playing left tackle for this Chiefs team. So Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. What do you think of this Chiefs offensive line? What do you think of Wanya Morris? And what do you think of Jawaan Taylor? I think that Jawaan Taylor is someone that you're stuck with. He's going to be here for the remainder of the season because he's not as bad. He's serviceable. You can win with him at right tackle. You'd like to see some of those penalties go away, but you can win with Jawaan Taylor right tackle. Even though Max Crosby abused him for 4 quarters, I kind of expected that. So how are the Chiefs going to fix this problem? The easy answer is DJ Humphries. DJ Humphries was signed to be the veteran left tackle on this team, down the playoff push, down the stretch. And so I do think that we see him sooner rather than later. He was not going to play this week. He hadn't even practiced a full week in a Chiefs uniform yet. He needs this week to get acclimated to the team, learn where he needs to be on the field. Blocking for Patrick Mahomes is very different than blocking for any other quarterback. It's going to take probably longer than a week to learn, but DJ Humphries does not have that time to really learn and sit behind a left tackle that is doing their job, because that's not the case. I think if DJ Humphries could have played in this game, he would have, because it was that bad at the left tackle position. We've seen 2 left tackles get benched for this Chiefs team this season, and there's a reason why the offense is struggling. I know that everyone wants to blame, Xavier Worthy and the wide receivers, and while they didn't help Mahomes out yesterday, they also, aren't the reason why he's getting hit on every single down. I mean, the pressure rates that both the Carolina Panthers and the Raiders were able to produce, it's a shameful thing. I mean, you expect your offensive line to go out there and give Mahomes the chance. With Mahomes, when he has the football in his hands, there is always a chance. Except for if he's getting hit on every single play, if he's getting that pressure in his face, what do you expect him to do? He cannot just keep, turning turning nothing into something. Eventually, that's going to run out. And so DJ Humphries is going to have to be that reliable guy, and I think that he will be. I do think that he is going to be a much-needed upgrade over, over Wanya Morris. I think you finally have a solution to your problem. But guys, if we don't see DJ Humphries start against the Chargers, there's going to be some outrage. I'm going to be outraged because I think if the Chiefs do that, it just shows you that they're not serious. If the Chiefs start Wanya Morris at left tackle against the Chargers, it just shows you that they do not seriously consider Patrick Mahomes' health when making decisions. Because it was a risk to have him out there with Wanya Morris not being able to block a college player. I mean, these guys were just, bullying him, using him as a revolving door. It was just ugly, and I don't want to see that again. And they asked, Wanya Morris after the game about his performance. He answered it about as well as you could, basically saying that he did get pretty much bullied and that he's going to have to learn from his mistakes and get better, which I think is a good thing because he did get benched in the middle of the game for a reason. But this is something that the Chiefs cannot just wait to figure out if he's going to be reliable. The Chiefs are in the middle of a three-peat. Why even risk it? Why risk it when you have a guy in DJ Humphries on the bench that is going to be 10 times better when he just steps foot on the field? Wanya Morris has been that bad. I think you don't need anything else to get your answer. Brett Veach saw how bad Wanya Morris was, and he went out and got DJ Humphries. And that is why he is going to be the starting left tackle on this team when they're trying to three-peat. So Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more of the best Chiefs content on YouTube.